How's it going, everyone? Andy here from 4K Downtime, back at you with another video. Now today I want to do another video that I actually haven't done in a while, and that is basically an unboxing. The last one I did, I believe, was Bayonetta 2. Well, today I want to do an unboxing slash a review of the new Switch case that I've actually got. It's a charging case. Now this one just arrived in my mail today. Basically this was a Switch charge case that I bought last year. Now, you probably wonder, why did they actually arrive this late? Well, this Switch case was actually kickstarted last year, I believe around June or July. I can't remember when the Kickstarter campaign started, and I was one of the backers who actually backed this charger back then, because there wasn't any charger that was like this, so I decided to actually back it, and it was about $64, I believe, US dollars. So I backed it because I actually really wanted a Switch charging case back then, because there wasn't any on the market at the moment, and these were the first Kickstarter to do such a thing. Of course, now there's actually a lot. There's about 4 or 5, I believe, you can easily find on Amazon. And originally this case was supposed to release, I believe, in August, because that was part of the reason why I backed it to begin with, because apparently it was supposed to come out in August. It didn't, and it just constantly getting delayed, and through multiple revisions as well, because this one over here, when they first announced it, at least the video that they showed, the case looks quite different actually. I could provide the link in the description below and you guys can have a look at it. But anyway, after waiting for well over 6 months, and finally it finally has came. So I'm just going to open it and show you guys what it looks like and everything, and how it fits onto the Switch, and how it compares to some of the similar cases that came out ever since. So as you can see with the packaging, it's a pretty nice packaging, I must say. And on here, as you can see, it basically just gives you the details. It has a 10,000 milliamp battery, improved kickstand, 2 game card slots, and it could also be used as kind of like a phone charging device as well. You can actually hook it up to your phone, and the case could charge your phone as well. So yeah, 10,000 milliamp battery life, up to 4 times playing time. At the back here, it just kind of shows what the case looks like. So if you could see on here, it's it shows the top part, how the kickstand works, and the way how where the game card slots comes in. So inside the box as well, it also says here that it comes with the Switch charge case, as well as just the USB-C cable, and then that's it. There's nothing more apparently. But anyway, I'm going to just open it. So it just slides open like that. Now, one thing I do appreciate is that they did put in a note, to all the backers and everything, talking about our patience, the fact that we waited this long. Not exactly that I have a choice, but yeah, it's just a little thing that I thought was nice to have. And behind that, it's just talking about how the mechanism works, how to slide it in, the way how it charges, as well as again with the kickstand. Then this is the actual case itself. On the camera it might not look that great, but on here is actually proper pitch black. When you look at it, it has the SC on it. On my camera you probably could see it properly now, but in actuality you barely could actually see it, But on here, so so on here you can actually see the mechanisms. That's just how you basically just lift it up, like the kickstand. I mean, there are multiple, as far as I know, there are multiple angles to it. So you could go out there, and it could go all the way here. Leave that there. So yeah, this is about as low as it goes. Now, I have to say, well, actually no, it can actually go even lower than that. And yeah, so I don't know what kind of people will actually play it this low, but yeah, so it's good that you have it. It's adjustable. However, I have got one complaint over this. It's it felt like if you let's say if you leave it on the table plain like that for too long, yeah, I have a feeling it might come loose. If I'm being completely honest, it doesn't look like it's very big. Not to mention it, all it does is it just clips on like that. Yeah, I mean it's not that it's loose or anything like that, but I literally felt if you were to play in tabletop mode like that, like no matter what level you adjust it on, I felt like if you leave it like that for too long and then you make an attempt to try to close it, it might actually like start to come loose, or like to make it, or it just wouldn't snap into place as it is now. But who knows? I wouldn't know yet because I haven't really used it. And of course on here it shows the level of charge. Like you got a button here. I'm sure if you push it, yeah, there you go. So it actually kind of like shows how much battery is on. And then you've got a US, like standard USB output as well as a USB-C here as well. So I guess kind of like how they said they could charge your phone. So if you've got like a USB to a USB-C or a micro USB, like you'll be able to just plug it in and then charge it like that, I suppose. And then on here has like the serial number, a little bit more detail about it, and it also has like the USB output here. So you obviously the switch sits on here, and then like it charges it directly from the battery. On the other side has nothing. Now up, so that's the bottom, and obviously that's the top. Now the way how you put it in is actually quite simple. So up here, you see here, it literally just like it hinges up like that. So you just pull it up, and then let me just get my switch. So you get your switch and you just place it down. Just make sure, of course, like your console is a lot like the USB-C here is aligned with like the bottom. So just plug it in like that, and you close the top. Like the top part literally just opens and closes like that. Now, similar to my concern of the kickstander case, like at the back, I have a feeling the hinge that opens up this part as well. Yeah, it's like if you were kind of like constantly open it, close it, open it, and close it again, yeah, I can't help but to feel like the hinge is eventually going to get loose, and then it might not hold. Because right now it holds it pretty good. It's not like it's going to drop or anything like that, or if I hold it at an angle, it's going to drop. But if you can't, but because it's literally just a hinge like that, yeah, it does feel like it will eventually go loose, and then it just wouldn't hold it properly anymore. That's the one thing I'm personally fearing. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, it's actually about the added weight about this. Now, some people probably just like with a lot of cases like these, yeah, it's like added weight, it's to be expected. If you buy like a charging case like this and you do not expect it to add weight, you're a bit crazy, my friend. So but the amount of weight that this adds onto the Switch here is like, imagine holding two of the Switch's tablet together, like literally just slap one on top of the other along with the Joy-Cons on. That is how heavy it is. This Switch case itself weighs basically the same as the actual tablet itself. So yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of heft to it. And not to mention, yeah, compared to the other, because I did a review on the other Switch charge case as well. Compared to the Antank, yeah, it's like the Antank itself does add weight onto it, but it's not as heavy as this one. Like this one literally weighs way more than this. This itself, just holding it, is pretty light, but this one you could definitely feel like there's just like there's a heft to it. Like you could definitely feel. And I myself, it doesn't really bother me because I was one of those people who originally thought the Switch feels a bit too light, and because of that, it sometimes could feel like, for me, it could feel a little flimsy, like I could break it easily. But because whenever I play my games, yeah, especially if it's an intensive game, like if I was to playing Splatoon 2 or something like that. Like, you know, I find myself like, you know, constantly get really intense with like, you know, the way how I hold it, and I always felt like, oh, if I grip it a bit too hard, yeah, I might end up breaking it. But with playing it with a case, yeah, I kind of felt like, yeah, maybe because there's an extra layer, it feels safer, at least for me, that is. But other than that, there's really not much I could really like say about it. It's in terms of battery life itself here, for if you were playing intensive games like Zelda, like they get at least like from the way how what it's been marketed as, yeah. And like I said, when I got it this morning, I was it was pretty much fully charged already, and I was like playing Zelda on it for quite a bit, and it was turned on for about a good, I'll say, like, you know, because I didn't time the whole thing yet, but it lasted about 8 to 9 hours, like, you know, and that was just a standard setting on mine as well. Like the brightness was max, but I didn't really have Wi-Fi on and everything. And by the time it reached, like, I would say like around the 9th hour, it was starting to alert me that, like, you know, the battery's low and everything like that. So it does add quite a bit of battery life, considering that without it, the Switch literally, if you play Zelda at your max setting, it can only last about 2 or 3 hours, and then that's it. So it does add quite a bit of battery life onto it. So at the end of it all, it's like, can I actually recommend anybody to actually get this? Now, if you're like me, that you play your Switch all the time, especially in portable mode, and like, you know, you take it with you almost everywhere that you go, then I'll say for about, because when I backed it, like, you know, on the Kickstarter, I paid about $64 or something like that. And here in the UK, if you would, like, you know, transfer that back to pounds, yeah, we'll talk about almost 40 quid. That could be quite pricey, like, you know, for somebody who's probably doesn't play portable mode a lot, and you can't see yourself taking it with you, especially like this, out a lot. Then I'll probably say it's not worth it. But if you are like me, that, you know, you not that you travel a lot, but you go, like, the journey to your workplace and everything is about half an hour to an hour, and sometimes you'll be sitting in the bus or sitting in the tube, and you just want to, like, you know, keep playing, and you play on the buses, and you just play on your break time as well whenever you're on break, then yeah, sure, I could definitely see you're going to find, like, you know, value in it. But if not, then I'll just say, yeah, pass on it. Compared to the Antax one as well, if you were, because the Antac one was actually a little bit cheaper. For me, I only got it for about £23 or something like that. So it's almost like, just about like, you know, the Switch charges about almost double the price for it. So if you do just want to like, because in terms of, like, you know, the battery life, this one is definitely better than the Antac one. But the Antac one, it's lighter, and in my opinion, I like the mechanism of the Antac one better, because actually, as you can see, you could put it in there and then it just locks in like that. And even just putting the games in, it's just like this itself, just very simple. It opens up a door, and then you could slot 2 games in there. Oh, and speaking of which, on here, where you slot the game is also a bit funny for me. You slot it underneath, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, underneath there. So you have to put 2 games in. Feels a little awkward to me, but again, that might just be me. But yeah, other than that, yeah, like, guys, this is my unboxing slash a little mini review of the Switch charging case. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoy our videos, please consider subscribing and giving it a like. If not, you can hit a dislike. We'll be back at you with more videos soon. Me and Tom is going to come back to start doing some Onimusha videos, and there's some other things that we wanted to tackle as well. But we'll keep you guys updated. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off. Have a good one.